drawback of what we do, right? You walk out with 1,000 or so in cash. Well, we know it, but does the federal government, does the IRS, do the credit bureau? So I had really, exactly.
It's a double-edged sword with that one.
Double-edged sword, because I had a really tough time proving my income.
Look at this, $26,000 for one fucking dinner.
Okay, no, this could be explained.
How did you do it?
I had to go through 3 years of my bank statements.
3 years?
He's not kidding. Hear this because usually my sugar daddies do this for me. So
must be nice.
Right, that would be nice. Yeah. Well,
I'm serious. How do you think I got my fucking apartment on my car?
I don't ask questions, Beth.
Yeah, no.
Welcome everybody. Hello world and good evening Atlanta. Welcome again to another episode of Bar Banter. I'm here with a fresh crew. Thank you all for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here joined as always with my favorite host, Miss MJ. She's here in the building. Beautiful. We have Mr. Sean available here with us. Miss Victoria, thank you for being here, miss. And of course, David. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bar Banter.
Welcome.
Man. Folks, we're kind of double fisting right now, and at the same time, we're keeping our pinkies up as usual. We do have here in front of us a full martini glass made from our very own Victoria. She's going to give us a little bit about that in a second. And we also have a little glass of wine that we're going to start off with some red, okay? Brought to you by, was it Sean, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
Sean brought it. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, this is The Abstract by Orange Swift.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no. The Abstract, it's a beautiful wine. Sean and I are both wine lovers. It's out of Napa Valley, one of my favorite places to grow wine and growing in popularity, right? It's out of a winemaker, Dave Finney. He used to work for Prisoner Winery, and then he broke off, started his own brand Orange Swift. He's a big fan of movies, magazine covers, big into older movies. And on the front of this bottle, it's a bunch of Life magazine covers that he's compiled. You can see Elvis is on there, some really older ones, Marilyn Monroe as well. And the Abstract, it's a blend of Grenache, Petite Syrah, and Syrah. And it's really, really beautiful. Blackberry, rhubarb notes, a little bit of tobacco in there as well. A little bit, really smooth tannins. So yeah, it's the Abstract.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much. And on the Abstract notes, Miss Victoria.
Yes.
Talk to us about what you have going on for us in these martini glasses.
So my cocktail is going to be kind of like a cheers to summer. You know, we're in Georgia. Mm-hmm. It's May. We're already mid-80s most days. So it's just kind of a dive into summer. It's going to be a predominantly mezcal cocktail. It's going to be paired with a peach liqueur. I think I went with... honestly, I forget the name of that liqueur, but it's going to feature the Del Maguey Vida Classico Mezcal. It's just one of my favorite companies, Del Maguey. They use very traditional, almost, they say ancient is the adjective that they use in their farming techniques. It's really cool. Little lime and pineapple juice. It's just one of my favorite cocktails ever. I made this up with one of my girlfriends a couple, restaurant jobs back, and it just stuck. So this is the Jolie Stone. I hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, cheers to the Jolie Stone.
Yes, absolutely.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
Cheers.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, smooth.
Nice.
Smokiness in the mezcal.
Great. Yeah, just kind of, hammer like 2 or 3 of those and get hammered.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
It's like I'm at a bonfire on a beach, you ask me.
Yeah, it's very nice. Smoky, but very drinkable. So
yes,
one of my
thank
favorites.
you very much. Very much kept the peach state theme. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you so much.
I'm not a big fan of smoky, but that kind of went down too easy.
Right?
I know, right? Yeah. We're going to keep an eye on our Sean here.
Right? No, speaking of Sean, folks, for you that just don't know, by the way, we had a little morale booster when we got here. This crazy man, Sean, also coming in clutch again. Cooked up some Korean barbecue outside like a freaking raw dog with a gas heater. I mean, for crying out loud, you're a savage, bro.
I mean, it's just something I love to do. It's just great to have friends around and great to have conversation, nice conversation. You throw some meat on, you talk a little bit, and then you eat. And throw some meat on, then you talk a little more, and then you open up.
You throw some meat on.
You have good conversations with friends, and something I love to do at least twice a week. So.
All right, beautiful. Well, really quick, we're gonna go ahead and just go around the horn and get to know a little bit about each other real quick. We all the fans know MJ, so Miss, I know we love talking about you. We're gonna go ahead and start Victoria, all right, and get it going. If that's
sure.
okay, ladies first.
Yeah.
Victoria, tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got into the industry.
Yeah, I am actually from North Georgia originally.
Okay, homegrown.
I've kind of transitioned myself down to Buckhead the last 2 years. I would say I'm on more of the caliber of mixology these days. Me and Devin specifically like to spend our extra time at work just coming up with ridiculous cocktails, just honestly pairing, the freshest ingredients with just liqueurs and flavor pairings that would just blow your mind. This cocktail is just kind of like a hats off to that, because
Absolute refraction.
it's so fun and funny what we get to do. So anyways, just really enjoying this time in my life, mixology, Atlanta, over at this time, just having a really good time,
That's beautiful.
enjoying it.
That's beautiful.
Thank
Thank you
you
very much.
Absolutely.
David, how about you?
Yo, so I'm David. I was born up in the Northeast, born in Queens, New York as well, Manhattan.
Oh.
Moved to Norwalk, Connecticut as well.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Lived in Norwalk for a bit, Bridgeport. Moved around a lot. Probably moved 13, 14 times before I was 12. Just was my mom and I. She was a travel nurse as well. So followed her down here to Georgia, where she took a travel contract. Stayed here, finished up school, stayed for college, and then just moved to Atlanta about a year and a half ago to continue my career. And I do dietitian work and personal training. That's my main job. Really love it. Love health and fitness. But
Amen.
I stayed in the service industry as well. Been in it for 9 years. Worked it all through school to pay my way through college. Told myself as soon as I graduate, I'm done and I'm out. And then now here I am right back, right? So came to Atlanta. I'm also from Little. I'm a server there as well. Heard about the restaurant, came in, had to go a couple times, finally just begged them to give me an interview. And I got the job there, and it's a great side job for me to have, great side hustle, great place to meet people, make connections. It's been amazing so far. So yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Welcome.
Thank you.
My man, Sean.
What's up, brother?
Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Palm Beach Gardens. I grew up there most of my life.
Where's that?
It's South Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Palm Beach
Yeah.
Gardens, Florida.
Okay.
I lived like 15 minutes away from the beach, so honestly, it kind of blows my mind that I live like 7 hours away from the coast of the beach.
That's so wild.
It's pretty crazy. So grew up there until I was about 18, moved to Orlando, stayed there for about 9 years until I moved here a couple years ago as well. I've been in the service industry for 13 years, but for me, it's an actual passion of mine. Like, I love this shit. You know what I mean? I love making people happy. You know what I mean? It's something about, like, if you really mean, like, you're about acts of service, like, it's something about making somebody's day. Just when they come in, however they're feeling, they could be in the shittiest mood, and you could do something that could turn it around with something simple. And I live for this. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Dude, beautiful. Thank you so much, Sean.
Of course.
So these are the people we're definitely going to be getting to know a little bit more. Everyone on Bar Banter, thank you very much for the inclusive information there. All right, guys, let's get going. First and foremost, let's talk a little bit about, like, kind of on Sean's note, what are some things that keep you guys going back? What do you live for? What are those sparks that kind of, get your heart pumping, those ripples that you provide individuals in the industry? How about you, Victoria?
I would just say that, as far as like my love language, I would definitely say it's acts of service. Being a server in a restaurant specifically, that is what we're there to do, is serve people. And I think a lot of people, especially at this level in the game, kind of forget what we're doing, just kind of go in, collect a check, do the job, get in, get out. But again, we are quite literally a part of these people's memories.
Absolutely.
I'm constantly thinking about, of course I want to be with my family and my husband, making my own memories, but gosh, like, how intense and just very intimate is it? How many engagements? You were a part of an engagement the other day. You were literally a part of changing the caliber of someone's life.
Right.
We're just there for those moments, and I think that's what brings me back to it every single time.
Absolutely.
It's
Well
incredible.
put.
Thank
It
you.
is. David?
I love it.
Yeah, along those lines, service is such an amazing opportunity to change someone's day, right? Make their day, absolutely. I got in it because I also love to be a salesman. I worked in software sales for a bit as well, and I love the art of selling, not just selling to make a profit or make commission, but really being able to facilitate an experience for a guest, right? Like my favorite kind of table is when they sit down and they look to you for direction and they ask you to put on an incredible business lunch for them, or make an amazing anniversary meal, and they just trust you to take the reins, suggest wine, suggest food, suggest perfect pairings, and I live for that stuff. I love to be able to really facilitate and really have someone enjoy that.
That's beautiful. Every table's a stage, right? Every bar is a stage.
Absolutely, yeah.
MJ, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah.
I'm laughing because y'all are speaking so eloquently about how much you love your job, and I'm like, I wanted a job that felt the least like a job.
Here comes Gotham City, people.
No, seriously.
No, don't get it twisted now. There's some fucked up
We're gonna get to the
shit.
gritty later.
like,
I'm about to put the script, but that was dude, I
We're
love you
angels
for that.
right now.
Yeah, that is funny though.
Please continue. That was beautiful.
Excuse me. Like as a bartender, your job is to show people good service, but like they want to go have a good time. Like I'm used to working at more fast-paced bars, so they want to go and have a good time. They want you to give them good drinks quickly and efficiently. And I feel like that's what I wanted. I wanted a job that didn't feel like work. And being at the bar doesn't feel like work half the time because you're just sitting there, you're talking shit, you're making drinks, taking the occasional shot with your guests. So that doesn't feel like work to me.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so would you say would you agree to saying, I guess, what people who are in the industry maybe say it's almost like you don't really prefer the small talk and kind of putting on like the show or the mask. You prefer to kind of get to the nitty gritty, stick with like the dive bars and kind of late night crowd where it's more speedy club scene.
I mean, I would prefer that, but like yesterday, it was really slow and we had this couple and it was like the lady's birthday. Mm-hmm. And she was so happy when she came out because there was a creme brulee and that was like apparently like her favorite dessert. And I had no idea. I just wanted to bring her dessert and she was so happy that like she got her favorite dessert on her birthday.
Yeah, it felt methodical, right?
Yeah, and I'm like,
I felt like she was meant to be in front of that face.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, it is nice. Like, it was nice, seeing her so excited about something that to me was like so small, but she was so happy. And,
hey, it's a simple thing.
She made her husband tip me $100. So
okay, girl.
Like,
so
Break it in. Yes.
Happy birthday, girl.
Yes.
those are the fruits. Those are the fruits of a memory, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like you were saying, that it was her 50th birthday, and
nice.
so they were they took off work and they were just like, we're just gonna be out drinking all day, and we really wanted to come here.
And that's all it took to make her 50th. Like that. That's beautiful, right?
Definitely.
Shoot.
And
incredible.
those lemon drops definitely help because
Oh well, yeah. You gotta sauce them
spilled
up.
the last one.
No one's knocking the liquor now.
It's nice. It's really nice that they like took care of you too. I feel like, I try so hard sometimes, and there's just some people that don't understand. And it's not that it's any of their concern, anyways. Like what goes behind the scenes, but it's like we do a lot. You know what I mean? And I think, and especially people that's never been in the service industry, they don't know. Like we put in a lot of like effort into like even the little things just to make it so that they have the best dining experience possible. You know what I mean? So it kind of hurts when you don't get like anything from it, and it's just like, that verbal tip, like, hey, you did a fantastic job.
Not the dab, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your name again?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for you every time.
Then you look at the paper and you're like,
Please
what
don't.
the fuck?
You're like, whoa.
Literally.
With a smiley face, we had a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like,
You're the best.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
God.
Breaks my fucking heart sometimes.
That is heart wrenching, bro. I'm sorry. That happens to us all, but it's like almost like I don't want to call it a rite of passage, but everyone has to be ready for that.
For sure.
know?
Absolutely. It's part of the industry. But
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I wish more people knew about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's amplify a little bit, guys. Talking about all this sunshine and
Right.
rainbows.
Absolutely.
Let's flip the script a little bit. Let's talk
Yeah.
about what grinds your gears, people.
Oh, I
What
love this
grinds
question.
MJ, take us home. What you got?
No, I want them to start.
Oh.
I want to
Ladies
come.
I just love hearing people's
Okay.
responses.
You're my pinch hitter. I'll take it.
I want to go off of what Sean was just saying because I think it's really important to also be, and please don't get me wrong, because we are where we are to collect a check, and there are some days where we walk with a sad face, but most days we are raking it in. And I will say from a social perspective that gratuity is a dying art/understanding, especially with the state of the world. Where we work currently, it's not as fast-paced of an environment, so we're not obligated to take anything off the top because, you know, of getting stiffed or not getting a tip or anything like that. Whereas, you know, sometimes you'll get people from certain parts of the world where gratuity isn't a thing. It ended literally 15 years ago. The law changed, and whether you're in a European country, other, you know, nation, whatever it may be, most of the places I have worked in the city have taken gratuity off the top. So I think it's just something that is just hit or miss, honestly. And gosh, there is just nothing like pouring your heart and soul into a table and not getting paid for it, because you know what I mean?
They don't have to give me anything more than 20%, but if I give some fucking bomb ass service, like 18-20%, come on. Like,
or don't you hate when you like take a couple drinks off the tab?
Yes.
And they tip you the same?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Or
I'm
you
like,
just
do you not know the code?
Yeah, or going above and beyond, because
And these are drinks that are allowed by management. We're not talking about slinging drinks.
Exactly.
Owners.
Oh.
Got your back.
So, and also my thing is like, I don't care what you look like. If you're kids, if you're like, you know, if I don't think that you're gonna, or how the world thinks how you're gonna tip normally.
Right, like obviously they're here for prom,
for
right?
sure, right?
But they got daddy's credit
Like,
card.
I'm treating them exactly the same
Exactly.
as everybody else.
That's the
And
experience they signed up
So
for.
like I try to maximize every opportunity that I can to make a good tip, because the people that are gonna tip you really well, they're gonna naturally tip you really well. But like, give that attention to the people. Some of these guys, they don't get service like the service that I give. I genuinely believe that, and I truly believe it makes them feel special.
They'll voice
It makes
that.
them feel special.
Absolutely.
Like they probably get judged as soon as they walk in the door, and they get no love. I can see it. But like, yo, I'm coming between courses, and I'd be like wiping their tables and shit, like making sure it's beautiful before dessert.
Absolutely.
And like, I make sure the glasses are taken care of. Like, there's nothing on the table that, like, that doesn't need to be there. I don't have fucking salt and peppers and shit when creme brulee is coming out. You know, I don't have macaroni and green beans and shit on the table before creme brulee comes out. Like, it's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be well presented, no matter what, you know. And you'll be surprised, like, who will take care of you though. Like, I've had some bomb ass tips from people, and it surprises me. But at this point, it's like not surprising, because it happens. Because I've had some people where you think they're gonna tip really well, not tip you that well, and that's like, whoa,
Rip your heart out.
yeah. So like, maximize your opportunities. Like, treat everybody the same.
Yeah, absolutely. It truly is unique working in an industry where our entire paycheck is based off on what our guests see fit to pay us, right? Like, even people that work in sales, that work in any other industry in terms of a business that they work off of making a higher sale and a commission, they still usually have a base salary that will get them something. Ours, we make $2 an hour. Like, that's not enough to pay our power bill a month. You know what I mean? So it's pretty wild.
Don't check
and
those 0, 0, 0 every
exactly.
2 weeks.
Like, we get 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
And something else crazy is, you know, most people don't get benefits, or if we do get health benefits, they're usually not great. And people see the quick money we're making, but don't realize that, you know, we still got to pay for our medical bills. We still got to pay for our insurances. We got to pay taxes on it, because where we work, we don't, you know, pay taxes. We don't get taxes taken out. So it's tough, man.
So I've never worked anywhere like that before this job, and I haven't been there like that long. So like, when I did my taxes this year, we're like talking about it. You know, we talk about everything at work. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting X amount of money back. They're like, how? What did you do? And I'm like, what do you mean what I do? Like, you know, that's how much I get every year. They're like, not here, you don't. They're like, you owe that much every year. And my jaw hit the floor. I could not fucking believe it.
Yeah.
And everyone there is like, yeah, we all owe about that much every year. I'm like, so what do you do? Like, realistically, do you put it aside? Because I can't, like...
Yeah, it's like get the manager money, or you just have to...
And you just put away a little bit, because you kind of know how much you're going to owe every year.
You pretty much factor it out of a percentage of your paycheck, and then you kind of work it out that way.
Gotta get
Seriously?
some stupid cash.
Oh my God, this is like...
No, that's
adulting I'm not used to.
Okay, but once again, that goes back to, and of course, you know, for those of you who are looking on the outside in, again, in other industries, yes, like everyone who's in the job that they're in, typically they 100%. I mean, they did. I'm sorry. Every adult wrote and chose to fill out that resume for that job title. We're just giving you a realistic perspective of how deep the ripples go when it comes to the tips and the finances.
Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When your whole salary is based off of gratuity, especially in the industry we work at, we work in the top, 1% of price point and fine dining service. And so when you take a table and go above and beyond, suggest every single thing that they should get, facilitate their meal, because people sit down in our restaurant, look at our prices, look at our menu, don't know what half the wine is even on that thing, and have no idea what to order. So if it wasn't for us, they would have had a completely different experience than they do because we facilitate it. So when you do all that and they throw you a couple bucks, it hurts because it's something that you've worked for. We've spent years and years and years and years building up to the level of service that we can give. It's difficult to do. It really is, to have that much knowledge and also have that many tables and have that much of a problem solving and a multitasking ability to have all these things going on at one time in your section and still take the time to talk to your table for 5 minutes about why that wine is a beautiful pairing with that steak, right? Not all servers can do that. So I feel like we
especially after
that.
COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Honestly, I get impressed with David. Like he holds that shit down. Like,
David is the calmest person I've ever met.
That
and he has
under
really
hot
great-
fire.
He has really
Literally.
great wine knowledge. Like I just started looking not too long ago, but like that wine list is extensive. Like that shit makes you like oh my god, where do I start? You know what I mean? And the way that you speak about wine sometimes, I'm like, damn. I got to get my knowledge up, and that's the easiest way to make yourself look good. You know what I mean? If you have an answer for everything, you're confident about it. Like that's to be honest, that's the easiest way to be impressive to a table.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it's a curating experience that it's like, I don't know, it's like an explorer showing you their favorite trail. It's just that simple. It's all an experience. It's all, fine dining down to dive bar.
yeah.
Points of service are always different, but we're engaging individuals. We're taking care of people during those hours that we're engaging them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of which, a couple of y'all have only been in this for a couple of years, or is everybody pretty much deep as far as their
I'm pretty deep.
as far as
On my
service
ninth.
goes? So y'all, what was COVID like for you guys as far as pre and post COVID? Coming in and out of that after, a few years. Vic?
For me, it's candidly just been not the aftermath. That sounds so dismal, but honestly, you can look at the news this week, the week of May 13th, 2024. I come from humble beginnings. I actually started serving at Red Lobster back in the day, and as of yesterday, they're closing almost 100 Red Lobsters across the United States. So as far as COVID is concerned, it's just been the after effects of honestly the economy, not being able to get out of the grocery store for less than $100 for just general fresh ingredients. Pre-COVID, I do specifically remember the moment that me and my husband stood in our office and were ordering, N95 masks, and he looked at me and was just like, this is real, this is really going to be a thing. And we took it hyper seriously once shit hit the fan. Right. Truthfully, I was one of those annoying COVIDers. My mom's 67. I did everything and a half to keep our family safe. But I remember, being in the restaurant and not knowing if we'd be able to do this again, not knowing if we'd be able to give person-to-person, one-on-one service. And that was so intense for me because I built my life around that. And I often refer to my career path as the fine dining and breathing episode of SpongeBob when he's, when Squidward's trying to impress his, friend from college.
Squilliam.
Literally when he's trying
10
to
points.
impress Squilliam, and I'm just, I just dumped everything out of my brain, and now I just know food and wine, and I'll tell you way more than you want to know about this cut of beef and why it should go with this wine, and where you can go to certain places. So anyways, all that I'm really getting at is that I do feel like each interaction is a blessing because we didn't know. And honestly, if anyone says that they did know, it's just not true because no one expected, whether your restaurant stayed open for to-go or closed fully, that we would ever be able to do that again. So, yikes.
Yeah.
It was wild. You know, we'll all look back and talk to our kids. I saw this hilarious meme the other day, and it said, when I was your age, I didn't go out for 2 years. You'll be okay if you don't go out tonight. You know, like
Right.
just some truly historical.
It's not 2 miles, it's 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. So it was intense
crazy.
for me, but it continues to be intense and affects people randomly and in very intense and bombastic situations. People are not let know that these things are happening. And I remember there being a little bit of foreshadowing of, you know, COVID sucks in 2020, but it's gonna continue to suck for a little bit as far as the business and economy standpoint, which is not a part of my life. That's not something that really touches my life. But, you know, when your cousin comes to you and they're like, yeah, I just lost my job. I've been working at Red Lobster for, 34 years.
Sheesh.
It's a little different. And there's going to be a lot of slashings. A lot of things are going to go down as a result of that.
So you would say the decline in mental health is definitely a big part of what we're talking about here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would say, you know, as far as that's concerned, it's just, I mean, truthfully, a lot of people did get very, very, very medically depressed and very sad and, you know, took medicine, did not take medicine. And I don't know, I'm an avid believer of keeping myself in really good company too. You know, that's a part of why I'm here today. You know, I'm here at this table with extremely strong individuals. Every single person here is very headstrong. You know, I just met MJ like, 25 minutes ago, and it's just, you know, you just kind of know and you understand because we're all around the same age range, I would say.
Yeah.
And everyone has, you know, a reason that would keep them going. And I'm just obsessed with networking at this point, and it's just very important who's in your circle, who's a part of the conversation.
Right.
And yeah, so
It's funny you bring that up because I was just about to segue over into talking about the kind of exposure that you get into the industry with any class of individual, would you say, right? On the networking note, David, what would you have to say about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten a lot of my clients, so I do personal training, right? Dietitian work, done that on the side. Kind of started that during COVID, where people were looking for online training and did through Zoom Info and Skype. Picked up a lot of clients that way. It's been wonderful, and through my job as well. It's kind of funny. I'll serve you an unhealthy meal of steaks and wine and mac and cheese, but then I'll give you my card for personal training.
that's so smart.
Supply and demand, baby.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's become kind of a joke between me and people that I serve, because a lot of times I'll create a connection from that table. They're asking what I do. I'll tell them to ask for my card. Just happened a couple of times last week, and then we go from there, right? So I made a lot of connections. I've had job offers in software sales, medical sales offers from there. I feel like where we work exactly in Buckhead, it's the center of business, right? Most expensive zip code in Georgia. Business runs through there, through and through, right? So we meet a lot of people that are impressed by us and impressed by our personability, our ability to communicate, to multitask. And that's fantastic because that goes hand in hand with what they do in business and sales. So
Absolutely.
It's a great way to make connections and meet people as well.
It's a fair fraction of vibrations. I like that. How about you, Sean?
Well, if we're talking about COVID, man, during COVID, I was going freaking nuts. I don't know about you guys, but like not being able to work was just crazy. And, just getting back into it, I think COVID kind of fucked everything up, really. Man, honestly, there's a lot of servers that just don't give a fuck anymore, and it pisses
There
me
is no
off.
bar anymore.
God,
right?
there's
Right.
no standard. I'm talking man, we're talking about excellence and shit, and we're talking about the way. It's like, what the fuck is the way? It's like, show me first. But I'm over here just trying to, honestly, I'm trying to help everybody out. This is what I do every time I go to restaurant to restaurant. I learn teamwork from a fine dining French restaurant. If you don't do what I do, you're not there. You know what I mean? So it's honestly,
It's like an NFL roster. It's
Yeah.
there's no
They don't fuck-
anomalies
they're not
that just slip in there.
They don't give a fuck if you come in with an application. They don't care where you've been. It's what will you do? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
talk is cheap. You know what I mean? Your actions will do all the speaking. So I think, a lot of people too, it's you finish training, it's anybody can be good for 2 weeks, pass the test, get on the floor, but it's how are they 4 months in? How are they 2 months in? What are they going to be like? And it's just, like it's not a lot of people put in hard work anymore. Hard work, good people are hard to find.
Yeah, the absence
You know
of
what I
grit
mean?
is real. Hey, I'm gonna get back to you guys on that. Hold that thought, Sean, 'cause I'm gonna get right back to you when we take a break in a second. We were just discussing a little bit a segue into leadership into the service industry and our experiences forward. But first and foremost, we just poured ourselves up another glass of wine, y'all. All right.
Beautiful. We had the abstract last round, right? Now we go over to Cabernet, Stag's Leap. Last wine was a nice blend. This one's going to be just a really almost 90+% Cabernet. Stag's Leap out of Napa Valley as well. It's been a company that's really been growing. They have their own district now in Napa Valley, Stag Leap District. A lot of beautiful wines. The Artemis by Stag's Leap, one of my favorite. Check that out if you can. Named after the goddess of the hunt, right? Because the best grapes throughout the season, harvested by Stag's Leap. Beautiful wine, dark plum notes, a little bit more fruit forward. This is just their classic Cabernet, and it's going to be darker notes of cherry, plum, a little bit of cedar in there as well, baking spices. Really fantastic cab. And I love the balance of it. When you drink a wine that's not balanced, either it can maybe sit on your jowls too much, or it just hits you too much in your chest for a higher alcohol content. This wine sits so perfectly on your palate. It's really, really well balanced, really delicious wine. So, yeah.
Thank you
that's
very
what we
much for
got.
that, David.
Cheers.
Oh, sure.
Cheers, everyone.
Beautiful.
Cheers.
Cheers.
MJ, how'd you like that wine?
I think it's pretty good.
I mean, we grew up Catholic. I mean, would you compare? Would you say it's the blood of Christ, or am I going too far?
Well, I thought, oh yeah, the bread is the body. Shit, I should know this. I went to Catholic school. No, so I grew up going to Catholic school, and we used to have like school-wide mass, like in the gym once a month. But we also had to take religion once a year. And we
What's the difference?
So you would go to chapel with your religion class. So this is like in your
Chapel is in the church.
Yes, like there's like a chapel in the school, but it only fits a class or two at a time. So like during religion class, you would go to chapel.
Okay.
But as a school, we would all get together in the gym and like go to mass as a school.
Oh, so
Wow.
damn, that was y'all's assemblies.
Yeah. So
Sign me up.
so when you did it, so when you went to chapel with class, they would have the wine, like real wine. Because there was less people, so they can like do it. So we would literally just
Like high school, middle school.
high school, like
Okay.
not middle school, high school. So our fucking dumbasses would go up just to drink wine because we're like, we're getting lit in the middle of the day.
I deserve a sip.
They bring the cup,
Scrumptious.
well, they bring the chalice to your lips, and you tilt it back yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, they hold the chalice to you, and then you tilt it back, and then they have like a little napkin, and they wipe the chalice, and then
Right.
they move it,
Right.
and they give it to the next student.
Of course.
Yeah, they're very
COVID
sanitary.
what? Oh my god.
Hey.
That's hilarious.
No, the Catholics are resilient. We didn't have to worry about that shit.
No, that's
Yeah, I mean, my school was tiny. My graduating class was like 100 or so people. So it wasn't like a huge...
They were sharing different kind of germs back then. You know?
We were, yes, way different journals. So that's a different story for another day.
That's a different podcast. Later
Ancient
tonight.
relics.
Podcast. I grew up in Catholic school too. And
Did
it
you?
was
So you were
wild then.
equally as horrible as a child.
Equally as horrible.
Great.
The Catholic kids were known for doing the craziest
Oh my
stuff.
God, yeah.
Always.
We one time we smoked like, you know, the front of the Bible has. Oh my God, my mom's gonna kill me. if
What
she
the
hears this.
fuck are you about to say?
My mom's gonna be so upset. Sorry, mom. You know, like the first couple pages like don't have no ink, right?
Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 blank pages, and we're like, cause we were like smoking out of apples and weird shit like that. Aluminum cans, like
Right.
smoking
Water
marijuana. Let me
bottle.
clarify.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not smoking like.
Devin is horrified.
What are you about to say, dude?
So we were.
A few moments later.
That's all we had, bro. We had cars.
Really?
That's all we had.
We didn't have a car, you know. We couldn't go to a store and buy. Hey, can we get some Dutchess?
And sometimes smoking out of the apple is kind of hard.
You know,
It's
It's
hard.
not hard.
Man,
it takes a
it's
pencil
so-
or a pen.
What if you
just
don't have
poke two
multiple
holes.
apples?
Yeah,
though?
but it's like
You just need one.
Yeah, but
know,
how'd you
but-
do it? Did you make like a little hole in the
It's
apple?
called
and
an
then-
L.
Did you-
An L.
did you
You
ever-
poke
no.
two holes and make
Maybe
an L.
we're talking about the wrong thing.
All right.
This is the wrong podcast.
Holy.
Right.
All right. Anyway, back to what
Sorry.
we were
The body of Christ or the
Cheers.
blood.
yes.
Thanks,
To
guys.
Stag's Leap, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, we were getting into leadership in the service industry. Sean, let's go back to that. We were talking, talking about and touching the point of, you know, the health of your staff management is a direct correlation to how you run, treat, and nourish the staff? And on that, what would you have to say about that?
Well, I think in order to have a good staff, you need good leaders. And I think a lot of restaurants don't have good leaders. So they're already doomed from the start. You know, like, you can't motivate a staff when the managers aren't doing what they preach. You know, we go to these pre-shifts and it's fucking bored with bullets. And man, there's some pre-shifts like an hour and something long, and I'm just like, what? And like, they're teaching shit, like, especially in the caliber of restaurant that I work at and David we all work at. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just man, they shouldn't even be teaching that kind of shit. Like, full hands in, full hands out. Like, that's a fucking given. You know what I mean? Like,
The basics.
That's the basics.
Yes.
Communicating with your staff, that's basic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be learning, like, different wines, and we should be having pre-shifts where we, you know, like, touch up on the attention to detail, like the nitty gritty, like that. All that bullshit that doesn't get taken care of, like, that should be taken care of. Like, honestly, it's hard to, and it sucks to have only a few people like that you work with in a place that's so big. Like, we don't have many people that'll help, so it's like, it's hard even on the slow days. You know what I mean? Like, when it's slow like that, and there's some days where it's just like everyone's pissed off and like nothing's going right, and there's like a lot of shit at the end. It's like, how did this happen? It's like, there was not that many people. It's like nobody was doing anything. That's why it's like, you know, people don't have urgency these days. People don't, they're not accountable. Like, people don't have like the passion anymore. And like, COVID fucked it up. You know, I'm telling you, COVID fucked it up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are in the service industry, in an industry where you have to be honest, you should care about people. A lot of the people, like, don't fucking care.
Some people just shouldn't be servers or bartenders.
Absolutely.
Like, they just don't have it. You know,
They're just like, they expect 20% to be given to them. It's like, people aren't just gonna give you
because you
money.
delivered a plate.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you
Right.
have to actually put in the effort. You have to put in that urgency. It's like, to be honest, when I go out to eat and I ask for something, like, you know, 10 seconds feels like a fucking eternity. So I understand where they're coming from. I understand from a guest perspective as well. So it's like, when you're handed a chit or like to be, you know, to greet a table, you don't know how long it took for that chit to get to you. So it's like, you have to think about that. How long have they been waiting? You know what I mean? So you have to put on the jets, like, put the Lamborghinis on. Like, you gotta speed walk through that bitch. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of your tasks. You know what I mean? And honestly, like a lot of people don't take care of their shit before shit gets, bro, shit's fucking real. Like,
Say shit again.
Shit. By that time, shit's real. In order for that to not happen, you have to, like, move.
Right.
Before that.
Absolutely. A sense of urgency. 100%.
Yes.
100%.
So it's like, you can't, like, me and a few people can't be the only people to always contribute. Like, everybody has to put in some kind of effort, you know what I mean? Or else we're all going to have a shitty fucking night. You know what I mean?
And you know what blows my mind? I'm going to get to the rest of you guys in just a moment. Is this is a bigger picture here, people, what we're talking about. And it's fucking one word, and it's called unity. All right? When everybody balances out and really puts in the effort, shit truly gets done on a grand scale, and that's where history is made. And I'm not talking about making history in a damn restaurant, but I am talking about making memories. That's all part of the same process. Ants understand this shit, people. Ants. I want you to think about that. Not talking about dolphins or whales yet, lions, wolves. Fucking ants understand this. Bees understand this. We're fucking humans. There's no reason why we can't clean this up and be, you know, civil with each other on that note and lift each other up. It makes no sense to be evil in this world, okay? It doesn't help anybody. You being great and good and helping people is going to make you 10 times greater than being a piece of shit and being selfish on that note. Yeah. Anyway, back to you guys. Victoria, how do you feel about the whole management bit we were just talking about?
I'm just really big on... you know, you're going to get out of something what you put into it. So I could probably just list off like a top 10 of Sean's pet peeves that I am aware of in the restaurant, because there are some things that are just so easy to let slide, and it gets as microscopic as stacking glassware, as if your side work is a huge part of our jobs. If your plates, dry the plates off, like, come the fuck on, people. There are like just micro steps of service where it can exist. We're not necessarily, where we are right now, a team service restaurant, but if we don't execute excellence for each other, it's not going to happen for ourselves.
No.
It's it's really intense, especially post-COVID, because nobody's wrong about the veteran lifetime servers who just kind of bounced, that were just like, this is enough, enough's enough, been waiting for a sign, this is my sign, I'm gonna go.
It's a new generation.
Yeah, and the ones of us that are, left to pick up the pieces or whatever, we're not going to, step our morals down in order to just make a quick buck, because we do a relationship-based job. At the end of the day, you also never know who anybody is. So,
absolutely.
And I'm sure we'll get into like service and VIP service, but from a leadership perspective, I need to see my leaders on the ground. Just this past weekend, we just did really intense Mother's Day, and it's very, very refreshing to see our leaders on the ground helping out. There are just no excuses at the end of the day, and I find, I just try to find the good in everything. And I will say the weekend that we're coming out of, which was a very hectic one, was, successful for the people who put the work in. So,
oh yeah. Those checks were solid.
Yeah, get out what you put in, because, it's a lot. It's a very niche career path that we have all chosen.
It is built for special people, I will say that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I do want to mention one thing. I was shocked when our leaders were stepping up and doing what they're doing, because they don't normally do that, but maybe that might be the start. And at that point, it's just you have to be consistent. Yep. You know what I mean?
Must occur. Absolutely. These things are just non-negotiables when it comes to this caliber of service.
'Cause that shit's motivating. If that motherfucker takes his goddamn jacket off and he's rolling up silverware, or even getting it, we've seen managers, GMs go all the way to the damn dish pit. That is a motherfucker you follow into the trenches of whatever holiday.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the person's team that I want to be on, because at the end of the day, when we are discussing just ridiculously minuscule things down to the wire of table settings, ultimately, and where we are, big picture podcast, we're in Atlanta, Georgia, and, guy could cut us for any reason he wants to, specifically and legally. So it's, I also find myself, just kind of flying under the radar as much as possible. If someone sees me do a great thing, amazing, wonderful, but I'm not going to go out of my way to make sure that someone saw me running, 99 stacks of plates, because I'm going to get a recognition at the end of the day. The recognitions come from my coworkers. It comes from David, who's like, hey, thanks for keeping a calm and sound mind throughout the shift today. It comes from Sean, who says, hey, Victoria, I know that this was your side work tonight, but I'd like to actually show you the correct way to clean stainless steel. Like, that was a real thing. It wasn't him being like, no, this is wrong, please fix it. He was like, actually, I'm going to show you this trick that I learned, years ago. Someone showed me, this is how you clean this, and now I know forever. Like, it's genuinely just micro instances of leadership.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Yeah. No, and just to add to that, people, because I'm about to throw this at you, David, because we were just talking about this. What she's really talking about, people, is like, a restaurant isn't just a fucking place where you go and you eat food. This is a damn house with, they're not orphans, but this is usually built on top of a family of strangers, okay? Like, what they're talking about at the highest level in the most positive way is that collaboration and that forethought and that attention to detail and knowing your neighbor, not your neighbor in the sense of zip code, but your neighbors in the sense of whose section is next to whose section, operating as a single organism, as one whole experience from the host to the freaking dish pit. And when you're a part of something like that, and then you create these extremely badass experiences that are, will hold people for a lifetime at times, and then on top of that, you get your bills paid for that. I mean, that's a whole cycle that you just get addicted to because it's magical.
Yeah.
People need that spark in their lives. Getting into the service industry is going to polish your social skills. It will disintegrate, dissolve, and eliminate all of your anxiety at least all of your social anxiety for that matter. You might have a different form working in the industry after a few years, but you're going to be more confident. You're going to be stronger because you're going to be able to work in front of and interact with every kind of individual that there is out there. Everyone goes to restaurants, but onto that, David, we were talking about characteristics that you were going to attain working in the service industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I could segue into just telling a little bit about my story and the way that I changed personally through the restaurant as well. I started when I was 18 serving and bussing, serving assistant as well. Something that I always wanted to do was serve, but never thought I could do it, never had the confidence. A really big part of my life was I had a stutter my whole life. Started out super young, about 6, and it was deemed to be pretty much uncurable. I could barely communicate. It was extremely
They told you that as a kid?
I saw therapists, but they were more looking for workarounds, for tools to get me out of it, opposed to that it would go away. I mean, I was told it never would go away. And I mean, it was so bad I couldn't say my name in school. I had special attention to not read out loud in class, and it became a huge part of my life. It became a huge crutch because I was always a confident, outgoing kid. But the problem was I had a speech.
They kept dimming your damn light over some bullshit.
Yeah, I had a speech impediment so bad I couldn't really get out more than a couple words every half a minute. So I got an amazing speech therapist when I was in high school. She was incredible. And her cure for it, in a way, was put myself in as many uncomfortable situations as I could. So we would call pizza places for hours, and I would order pizzas, and we would call restaurants, and then we, of course, know at the end that it wasn't actually an order, but I would put myself in situations where I got in front of my class, told them about my stutter. I remember on a daily basis, I would go into my closet, and I would just talk and talk and talk and read and just tell myself that I could do it. And when I was alone, I wouldn't stutter. But when I was in front of anybody, it would be really, really bad. So when I graduated, I told myself, what's the hardest job that I can do to get myself out of my comfort zone and beat my stutter? And I was like, I probably have to be a server, right?
Jesus Christ, the balls on this one.
It was tough.
All right.
You know what's crazy? Like, when he sings, his stutter totally goes away. Like,
that's true.
What the fuck? You
yeah,
sing
when
too?
he sings, he plays guitar. Like, I just recently went over to his crib just like hang out.
Yeah.
And like he was playing the guitar and he was like singing. I was like, what the fuck?
Now you're over here serenading with people and shit. David, look at you, dude. That's a freaking beautiful story, man.
Yeah. And
what?
It got way better, man. And I kept working at it. And then my last job, I had an amazing manager.
Tears.
She was like, you can serve, you can do it. And I remember that I was in tears in my car saying, I can't do this. Like, I can't get through my spiel. I can't get through this. And she was so encouraging. She's one of my closest friends now. She's amazing. And I just kept pushing and built my confidence. And now it's like I hardly ever really have any kind of slip-ups in my tables. And my confidence has been through the roof since then. So
Well, I'll definitely ease up on you at the fucking service well now, buddy.
You good.
Fucking
you
care.
But
I'm like, spit
What
it
are
the
you
fuck
giving him
out,
shit
bro.
for?
Oh my God. I tell him to fucking hurry up all the time when he's trying to tell me some shit.
I mean, even in general, he says it to everybody.
I mean, yeah, I do spread it out. I don't fucking isolate him at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, man, I'm super grateful for it. It's
Dude,
built my
that is an
confidence,
insanely
got me out,
inspirational bit you just threw down,
I
man.
appreciate it.
No,
I
seriously,
appreciate it.
like, goddamn, cheers to this
I
motherfucker.
know, it's so good.
Wow.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers
Thank
to
you,
that,
thank
guys.
you.
Cheers.
Thanks for all listening, for sure. Yeah. It's been
You
amazing.
are genuinely, I mean, I've only known you for a tiny bit of time, but you're one of the most well-spoken people that I know
Absolutely.
/ have
I
ever
agree.
met. You like, you have such a calm demeanor, and you're, more than wanting to get out what you want to say, you want to make sure you have like a deep understanding of, what your guests want in this specific instance. And
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I appreciate that so much. That comes from a lot of work. I'll tell you that. A lot of practice on how to form sentences.
This is years of
and
progress and
things, yeah.
polishing. Once again, talking about that
Beautiful.
shaving, and this was like, this is really like a diamond effect, right? From the rough to the fucking finishing
Absolutely.
product. Like, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I
dude.
mean, as long as you're like always getting better in like whatever you're, in life, you never get worse. Like, you're,
Absolutely.
bro, the sky's the fucking limit.
Expand with the
I mean?
universe,
Exactly,
people.
man.
There's
Expand
only
with the
so high,
universe.
you would be surprised where you'd be if you would actually. So the things that when we talk about excellence, like there's a certain list that I have, and you kind of have to have all of it for me to think that you're good. Like, you can't be good with people, but as a shitty teammate for me to think you're good. Like, you have to have all these things. It's a memorable service, the accountability, the continual learning, the energy, the integrity, the teamwork and family, the humility, the innovation, the passion. That's my list.
And to my nerds out there, what Sean's talking about is the fucking difference between like the Avengers, Justice League versus like the Thunderbolts.
For sure. I'm talking about the Olympics team that won the bronze or the fucking 92 Dream Team, baby.
There you go.
I'm talking about,
and that's a feeling.
We can have the same uniform on, and I can make twice as much money as that person working the same amount of hours. You have to be like, it's a job, it's a fucking job. Come in and perform and do your job.
But it does come with a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. It does. Honestly, it's like literally all that shit applies outside of work too. Like,
you become an insane host.
Yeah, think about it. Like, memorable service. Whenever I hang out with people, like, if somebody asks me, let's hypothetically speaking, let's say, hey, you want to go to church with me? I'm not very like religious like that, but if I say I'm gonna go to church, I'm gonna be there fucking on time. This is a 10 o'clock service. I'm gonna be there 9:50 at least, and I'm gonna dress up. I might not bow my head or anything, but I'm gonna listen to what the preacher is gonna say. Like, I'm actually there. I'm gonna be present. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate when I ask somebody, hey, you want to come ball with me, and they come over and be like, yo, man, blah blah blah. I'm bored. I just want to chill. I just want to sit. I just want to like play on my phone, fucking do nothing. Like, that's boring. You know what I mean? It's like people coming over and just want to like do nothing. It's like, or they come in with like a bad attitude or like, the wrong energy. Like, I'm just trying to chill. I just want to have a good time. It's like,
we're living life, baby.
I just want to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, you guys invited me out to this, and like, I wanted to make it special, so
you sure did, buddy.
I asked Devin, I'm like, why are we doing this every...
Yeah, it's like, I think, I thought it would be something cool that we could do, and honestly, I need some food before I get fucked up.
And he for those of you,
we will eat.
Exactly. For those of you who are just tuning in, he's talking about, this man showed up basically an hour early before we all rendezvoused at the studio and cooked Korean barbecue, basically like MacGyver on a freaking picnic table with like a gas... heater, grill?
Little gas
picnic
burner.
Table status.
I mean, for crying out loud,
it was the best date I've been on in a long time. That's what I'll say. Honestly, it was really nice, and I don't know, Sean is just kind of a real one, and I just need everybody to be aware of that, especially from a service industry perspective. I was talking to Devin about this, just a few weeks ago. When you meet someone and they provide that caliber of just relationship, just having you guys listen to me right now, like, people don't get that. People don't get a moment where they're listened to or heard or, thought of. And Sean thought of all of us a lot, several times, took the effort, it doesn't exist. We live in a very fast world, and it's just a very, intimate, and I don't know, romantic is an interesting adjective to use, but I feel like all of us felt like that today. Like, that just doesn't happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys are all very, like, I think of you guys as the people, when I see you guys come in the door, to be honest, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good fucking day.
Yes, he always has the best.
It's a morale booster, right?
Gosh,
imagine if you had a whole team like that.
Yo, sometimes there's none of you guys there. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be rough. Like,
it's a little rough sometimes.
This is gonna suck.
Because you're fighting alongside freaking vampires and corpses and shit.
Yeah,
I will look at the cut
fucking
list.
starfish, literally starfish. People like they're just. This is what they're
like
doing.
literally chilling. I'm like,
literally, some dude was taking a nap. One of the closers taking a nap on the booth. And the amount of nothingness that goes on at like 1:30 in the morning. And like, I'm not closing that night, but like, I'm like, yo, y'all don't want to get the fuck out of here? Like, are you kidding me? I'm over here like, yo, I'm not trying to be there a second longer than I fucking have to. I'm going to put my heart in this bitch, make it look gorgeous. I'm never gonna get a call saying like, "Oh, you didn't do this." You never. I promise you that. Like,
and that does happen, people. You leave that freaking place, they will call you and bring you back
and say, "Who the fuck closed last night and left this mess here for me?"
Yeah.
You should see Mother's Day. Mother's Day, we got fucking wrecked because of that shit. See, literally what I was telling you, the amount of nothingness that was going on at 1:30 in the morning, and honestly, they're ballsy for fucking asking for a walkthrough when the restaurant was in that kind of shape. Like that shit like was crazy.
Out of pocket.
It really was.
Absolutely.
MJ, how would you say the service industry refined your social skills, if any? Did they? Or did it just kind of like you just were just like Captain Marvel, like I'm just always this powerful?
No, I mean honestly, people don't believe me, but like I was really shy when I was young, well, like a child, and had really bad like social anxiety, which I feel like I still do. But
why were you having social anxiety as a child?
Well, I have 5 sisters. I come from a big family.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
because I was like, I think I have like middle child syndrome where I'm like, I didn't get attention a lot, so I'm like very attention needy as an adult. But you guys don't know this, but I started bartending because I was a dancer first.
Okay.
And I really wanted to like transition into something else, but I knew I wanted to work at night. I knew that I loved making fast money, but I just didn't want to strip anymore, so I started bartending. And every time like I think about that point in my life, I'm like, how the fuck were you getting naked in front of people and you have like the worst social anxiety?
Yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy.
I don't know, but I was drunk all the time. That's probably why I got through it.
Hey, man. Do what you had to
but
do,
I
right?
think that like
That's what I'm
being
saying.
like you always say that like, you know, the bar is like your stage, like you're
Yeah.
on the spotlight. And I think that being a dancer and literally being on stage on the spotlight kind of made it easier for me to like be charming and be funny, because that was my job. Like my job is still to be funny, be charming, be sexy. I'm just not getting naked. I'm just shaking cocktails with my boobs.
Which is better.
Ow.
It's a better way to deal with your daddy. Just do that.
I'm gonna put this
Go
out there,
bartender
too.
first.
Girls have it a lot easier than guys
No, we
do,
don't.
for sure.
No,
Be
we
careful
don't.
with that, Sean.
Really?
Be
Yeah,
careful.
Can I just
I think so.
No, because
I think so.
Be careful with that
you
statement.
get
think
like
girls have a lot
you know how
easier
you
than
were
guys.
saying
Yeah,
how
I
you
s-
were disappointed, like sometimes you get a tip, right? And you're like disappointed as fuck. You're like, what the fuck? You know how often I get like sexually harassed at work, and I'm like, all of that harassment
All right, I
for
didn't think about
$15.
All right, I didn't think about that part. But what I'm
Pisses
saying is,
me off.
I've seen girls who like, yo, they give a dude a free water. Like, here's a water glass, and here's $20. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo.
So with that, of course, I know you know this, Sean, but I think just to fucking, I'm just gonna have to say it. All right, I'm just gonna have to say
hear
it.
it.
Talk that talk, bro.
With that, the ladies don't talk about it enough. Maybe they talk about it amongst each other, but that's why I think once again Vic is saying how she's fortunate to have guys like us to talk to about these kind of things. Is like, I'm just making this shit up off the rip, people. I just do not Google this term, but it's like the shadow tip on top of it. Like she might have got fucking $50 from a Fiji water, but she was also objectified.
Okay, but
in that same process.
yes, 100%. And honestly though, like.
I didn't see it from that perspective as
Yeah,
well.
so we're getting
totally.
harassed, like,
Okay.
and like honestly, like I
never get it.
I get it. Like you
I know
dress
you
a
want to,
certain
but I
way,
know. We'll
you
work
dress
on
a
it.
certain way. You
I'll
know,
send you some
you're
cougars.
open to criticism and remarks. But
Oh my god.
I
You're funny,
just
bro.
have one thing to say before the mic drop, and it's to Sean, and I love you with my whole heart, but anything you can do, I can do bleeding. And
Oh fuck.
that's
I wish I
all
could
I
drop my
have
mic
to
right now.
say.
I
Me
mean,
too.
everybody. I mean,
I wish I could drop my mic.
Dave.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers to that.
Love you
Cheers to
guys.
And I won't deny that either.
Cheers to that.
Hey,
that. No, for my viewers out there, Sean is an excellent gentleman, and he has nothing wrong to say about women whatsoever.
absolutely.
no, it's just pretty privilege, and you have pretty privilege. You just don't have big titty privilege.
pretty privileged.
You're pretty.
I don't
You just
even
don't
know
got
what-
big titties.
Sean is a very
know what
handsome
you're talking
individual.
about.
Everyone
Very
is handsome
handsome.
there and beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a
appreciate
good
You
looking
got that
group.
going. You just don't got the boobs. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he always could.
Yeah, I mean
That's
just
true.
it.
days,
I
yeah,
love
I
the
get-
future.
We don't judge here.
We're 2024, right?
Oh my god.
Can I just change my mind later?
But I will say that there's a lot of
Yes.
like I don't know what the word is, but like people always like shit on my talent because they're like, oh, you got the job, like because you're
Wait,
hot,
can
right?
we talk about talent?
And Devin, you worked with me. I'm one of I always say I'm one of the best bartenders I know, but it's because it's
So
fucking
MJ
true.
is not a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, people. She's a goddamn GTR. Okay, she can do it and she looks good doing it, and that's just the way it is.
So
like
it's
the way-
They're
frustrating
all
when
not
people-
like that because the majority of bodacious babes out there are not.
They don't know how to do their
They
job.
don't have it. They don't have it together. They don't
Right.
have it all together. It's either one or the other. It's either
I
bang.
have
And
both,
unfortunately,
and
sex
people-
sells, and the creepers got the money. So once again, people, it's a cha-ching.
What I
Yeah.
was basically saying, so what you're saying is like, you don't just use looks to make up for what you lack at.
No, I don't like anything. I use my looks as a way to make more. Like, damn, this is a good ass cocktail, and you got some huge boobs. Let me just give you an extra $10 for the tip.
That's
and
why.
Can you reshake this for me?
Exactly.
Okay, so all of my work shirts look like this, and I'm making sure that when I'm shaking the shit out of that martini, it's right in front of you, sir. Right in front of you.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Vic, how about you? Characteristics, takeaways from the service industry that you would highlight as far as socially?
Socially, I actually have an opposite perspective, and
building.
I just kind of do have an incredible amount of social anxiety. That's just a part of it.
You do now?
Yes.
What?
It's insane. It's like reverse. And it's really nice, especially working behind the bar, because we do a team service behind the bar, and it's really, really nice when I have a teammate like Devin and I come in and I'm like, hey, like, I've been on the phone all day, like, not had the best day. Can I just be on service today? You know, I'm not ready to do people time right now. And we don't try to, you know, mix up the cards based on everyone's mood, but that's actually a huge perk of working behind the bar is having the camaraderie,
the flexibility, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I might not be on level 100, but Devin's gonna come in 120%, and his regulars are gonna come, and we're gonna be there, and we're gonna be having a great time, and we're all gonna get paid. That's the best part about it.
Oh, for sure.
So that's kind of a thing about it. But I also I'm a little bit more seldom to completely open my book to people. When I was a lot younger and, like, I guess a lot more naive, I would be very transparent with people. Here's how it's going, or here's that and the other. I have a very abridged and, you know, just different levels of who I am as a person, what I'm doing, what I'm looking for. You know, you may get 100%, you may get 70%, you may get 25% of that just streamlined story. I thought it was fun when I was a lot younger. You can be whoever you want to be.
Right.
But you gotta be real with yourself.
Yeah, and your audience, right? So
and accepting who you are. Honestly, it's a huge
your guest doesn't have to know the shit ass morning you had. They're not here for that.
No.
Exactly.
You tell your coworkers in the service station, like.
But you, exactly. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all. Like, you go tell your friends that. You can tell your fucking guests, like, oh my god, my day fucking sucks. I've got a flat tire.
But
my
you can
was
talk about
cheating,
the uplift.
like,
Trying to get that
Absolutely.
You talk about the uplift part.
I hate a pity tip.
Right. Because
That's
now,
disgusting.
right.
Trying to get that. Oh, my dog just died. Man.
David, how about you?
I need money for the vet, man. Like, come on.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I think it's built my confidence big time, and I think that what we're talking about, a pretty privilege in a way. My last job, man, I got like the opposite of that. Like, I had older girls. Well, they would see what I was making in tips, and then I would make more than them. And older girls would come at me saying that.
Are you saying all the older?
They're about my age. The girls that
All
were serving
the,
with.
not
all
older.
the.
Sorry,
Not older.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the girls that were serving with me in my other job would come at me saying that I was one that had the pretty privilege, because what they would say is that I can appeal to like both sides. Where like if they're on a date.
The wife's getting jealous because they're too hot.
Maybe that's different, but the guy's still paying the bill, and I can always bro out with the guy.
Right.
When it comes to like a pretty girl, sometimes you know if she's serving a date,
dude.
and their man is looking at that pretty girl too much, then you know.
For the ladies who have killer ass BFs or not yet, whatever, taking us, whatever you want to call us. Outstanding gentlemen, right? When we sell, we 100% cannot out alpha the fucking guy paying for the tab. So we got to make his girl look good and somehow segue into that him fucking being a badass too, which is.
Yeah, I think any good male servers playing with the man's ego, making him feel like the man in front of his date.
Yeah, we go from. I mean, I'm not a male, obviously, but when you go from the yes sir to the hey man. Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah.
The bro down.
Yeah.
The bro down,
you know,
the icebreaker.
That's when you know you're in.
That's when you're in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when the 40% is coming to tipping, you know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say, that's
100,
the tip.
yes.
My trick to alleviate that problem is anytime, you know, I greet the table, I always make eye contact with the guy first.
Yeah.
If you make eye contact with the girl first and then go to the guy, then it's like, sometimes it feels weird.
And we're talking about a heterosexual situation, people.
Correct.
Get him to feel comfortable first, and then you know move on to the lady.
And I mean, Victoria. I mean, sorry to cut you off. I'm sure you do the same. Like, I always address the woman first.
Absolutely.
Put her menu down first. Put her bed nap down.
Woman gets,
give her the wine first. Always.
For sure.
address her, yeah, because
classical treatment.
For sure.
I'm, again, not a male, but from a man's perspective, I learned a very long time ago that when the women and children are taken care of the best, there's no question. I've literally heard from someone's mouth before, if my girl and my babies are good, like, you're, 20% across the board.
Just like any job, you make the boss's life easier, you're going to be paid better. Period, right? So with that being said, everyone's going to go around the horn and close out real quick. Any last words that we'd like to go ahead and touch on really quick? Give us some final statements about, I guess, just how you feel about the service industry and what you'd advise people in and out to, I guess, live by, like as far as their guests or whether they're, actually trying to look into being in the industry. Vic, you want to take it back?
Yeah, absolutely. Just at the end of the day, we're all human beings. Service and servitude and serving people is a dying art. I unfortunately do believe it will end in our entire lifetimes. Therefore, it is something that I take very seriously and enjoy doing. It's a fun tea party. We literally bring people cups and plates and take them back and create just memories that didn't exist before we did it. We are the catalyst for those kinds of things, and I'm just, I feel blessed and just proud of myself, honestly. Every single person at this table networked themselves here. That wasn't something that you could just start doing last week or the week before. It's a lifetime, and a lifestyle, and it's something that I appreciate. I don't intend on leaving anytime soon, and I appreciate podcasts like this that are helping, set the record straight as far as being a career server goes or a lifetime individual in hospitality. It's so much more than that, and just thank you. This is really cool.
Thank you, Victoria.
Absolutely.
Sure. Sean, what you got?
Yeah, so I just want to tell, everyone that's working in the service industry or whatever industry that you work at, work with integrity, live life with integrity. Like I said, you'll be surprised where you'll be in a year with, integrity and just being accountable. And like I said, if I were to do something for 12 hours a day, like I want to be good at it and I want to enjoy it, somehow, so whatever I can do to like come, that's why I always come in with a smile. Like I'll never fucking come in the door like this place sucks.
He's the ultimate dabber. He dabs everybody up.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I worked at places where it's like there's a front of the house and back of the house war too. It's like there's a disconnect, so I want to be cool with the back of the house too. I want to be cool with everybody.
Unity.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's because it takes everybody to work as a team to make this work. And It's like one person can't do it by themselves, and like we need more good help. And with before that, we need better leaders. We need better leaders that'll actually take their jobs more seriously, and that'll motivate people to do better. Because I'm telling you, better people in the world, that's the world I want to live in.
Absolutely.
What I mean? Yeah,
Absolutely.
100.
David.
I would say to end out that really pursue what you have a passion for. It's clear through this podcast, all of us have a passion for service, right? So, but people have passions for a lot of other things, art, music, whether it's business, pursue what you want to do. I would say that I just love to serve. I love fine dining. It might not be always a permanent job for me. It can be a wonderful segue for people to make other connections, but I would say that I love it. I love it. I enjoy serving people. It brings me happiness going to work every day, and it's the most important thing. I don't think I'm ever going to look back when I'm older and can't work anymore and say, oh man, I wish I would have done a job that made a little bit more money, but I wasn't as happy. I feel like the most important thing is just to do what makes you happy, pursue your passions, whatever that may be. That's the most important thing, definitely.
Thank you, David. That was beautiful.
For sure.
MJ, close us out.
I really just want to thank our guests because I feel like everyone contributed something very sincere and different, like your story and how the service industry helped you with something that was challenging in your personal life. I think that's beautiful because for someone like me, for the most part, it's all about the money, but this shows how like you can have other purposes when it comes to this industry and still really do so much. And like what you were saying with career servers, people, I think some people shit on career servers and bartenders.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my God, you're 40, like you're still doing this. Like, it's okay, because some of us really do have the passion, and this is like, some of us wake up every day loving to talk about food and wine and how great it is and what's in season and like that, and that's okay. And I think that you put it greatly. you know, that it is a dying art, and not everyone was able to be served at one point. Like, it was a luxury and to be served, and because it makes you feel special. Absolutely. And I think that it's great that you treat it that way, like as a luxury. It's something that makes you feel special.
Sure.
Yeah. Guys, this is beautiful. I guess to finish with my little cherry on top, we're going to get out of here real quick. Thank you for listening, everybody. Yeah, the service industry, once again, which I'm going to say all season long, is just an insane varietal of just opportunities and moments that just provide growth and clarity in your lives. And not everybody's built for it, but the ones who are just even curious about it, just try it and see where it takes you. You know, you never know who's going to make your day, what kind of connections you're going to make, and what kind of lifetime friends and partners you're going to acquire along the journey. You know, especially when you're just confused and the world's only getting, you know, foggier and foggier. So if you're looking for some clarity, it's definitely one of the many industries that could definitely help you with that, especially with mental health. Welcome back, folks. Once again, I'm here with MJ. I'm here with Sean. I'm here with
Who is that?
So that's hilarious. Victoria, and we're here with David once again. We were kind of just talking about the ripples of the effects of being in the service industry at a younger age. You know, I mean younger, we're talking about, you know, fresh out of high school. Maybe you're, you know, in between going to college or whatever. You're 17, 18, 19 years old. You can't drink yet, but you could probably get a permit and start serving and learning about the industry. Or maybe you were a busser or a lower position, and now you're able to look up and possibly get to engage with individuals in certain settings. Ladies, who'd like to go first to talk about this?
I mean, I started dancing when I was 19, so I think it was crazy to go from like a college student that was like broke and eating the same shit every fucking day.
What major were you studying?
Psychology.
Even better.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I know, it's not.
Cheers to
Perfect segue.
My life is such a cliche. Like, so I was. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. No, so I think that like being that young and like being a broke college student and then going to making all this money every single night, it's like, holy shit, like. I think a lot of people fail to realize that we don't leave the industry because it is fast money. I know now where we all work, we get paid on a paycheck every week, but for the most part, most people get paid every single night. I mean, when we worked together during COVID, we got paid every single night. And when I mean we got paid, me and Devin were walking out with $900, $1,100, $1,300 in cash after every shift. And that's why people do this shit. Like, we're walking out with stacks like this. Yeah.
Like life-changing money.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's life, especially like, I mean, what's $700 is a shit ton to you. Like, that's a lot of money.
That's true.
So I think that like I mean, I took a lot of trips, you know. I mean, I remember I was going to Miami with a fake ID because I wasn't even 21 yet. But like, working in the industry allowed me to do things that I didn't think I could do, like going on trips and buying myself things. I bought myself. My first car was a fucking BMW.
Yes.
Like, it allowed me to do things that I didn't think I could do, you know?
Absolutely.
Of course, you know, you make some money, you want to
God
buy...
damn it. Yeah,
you want to buy an
You're
expensive
like,
car you can't afford.
Oh, yeah, I just shat on this fucking stereotype. What's up?
Do you remember when we first met, the cars that we had? Oh,
Insane.
Absolutely.
Absolutely outrageous. And we're not bragging about this. We're saying children's fucking chill. We're saying
don't
get the
like,
financial help.
Yes,
We're not saying fucking no. The bling bling ain't there. You're doing that shit for your own ego, and that's it. If you could think there's anything else, I promise you, you're not gonna get healthier. Your bill's not gonna get paid because you think you look cute in this fucking BMW, Mercedes.
Yeah, but it's like a rite of passage. Like, you make a lot of money, you spend a lot of money, then you learn.
You do look cute though.
Yeah, but it's feeding the wrong. It's feeding the wrong wolf.
It's okay though. It's like you said, it's a rite of passage. You go
but just always remember.
You make money, you flex, and then you learn.
Yeah. Always remember, it's not how much money you make; it's how much money you save. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. Who gives a fuck if you make $1 million a year? If you spend $1 million a year, you're fucking
broke.
You have to spend your money on the right things. Like, I never feel bad about spending money going on vacation. You're never gonna guilt me for spending $2,000 on a flight.
No, this is what we do. We create memories. You're creating a memory.
You
You fucking literally created a memory off of memories.
Yes.
Absolutely. And just, I mean, in general, just coming off of being, 18, 19 and jumping right into the service industry, if you can keep yourself in a good place with creditors, bankers, you can have anything in the world. They'll give you any amount of money if you want, if you make those payments.
That's right.
And so, as far as youngsters in the service industry, and especially the just blessed individuals we work with at such a young age in fine dining, they're asking questions like which credit cards report multiple times a month, which should I get this Chase card, should I get this Visa card? There are just moments that can change everything whenever you make that right decision. Whenever I got my first credit card when I was very young. I was like 21 years old. You rack it up, you pay it off, and they're like, here's like 10 grand for no reason. And then you're like, okay. And those are kind of like, they're not micro instances, they're huge life-changing kind of turns of the page where you can take two different people and one person's going to ruin their life and one person's going to be worth, $100,000 in credit because they made those payments, because they were aware of, the amount that they were pulling. I bought my first home when I was 24 years old.
See,
homeownership was never anything that I ever thought was in the spectrum. I thought old people did that. I thought that was something that you did later on, like after you had kids and stuff like that. And just, I'm blessed to have made the decisions that I did in order to provide for my family now. But there's also kind of this catalyst with it where once you enter the fine dining realm that we're in, you can't really just go back to Chili's. You can't really just go pick up a couple shifts at Longhorns. So for me, that's kind of like post 28 into 30 where I've been like, okay, like this is how much work it requires in order to keep up this lifestyle, this very nice car that I drive, the insurance that comes with it, my home. I also really like to go to Target, almost, you know what I mean? So just the different habits that we have, MJ may save all of her cash for her next trip to Miami. I may say all of my cash is for going to Chick-fil-A. Like, it's just all perspective and how you do with that, because this is an industry that can very well make or break you.
And resurrect you for that matter.
Because I am indeed going to Puerto Rico, and I've been saving all of my 5s and 1s in my
girl.
Louis Vuitton.
You deserve it.
Cash that shit in when I go.
I'm going to Thailand. I'm going to Thailand in a month and a half, and I've been saving.
Going back, bro?
Well. I'm excited. This is my first time in Thailand. I went to Portugal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As well, but to speak on one thing she said, one thing about the quick money, which I've dealt with, I bought my first house this year as well. It's been beautiful. It's been awesome.
That's great.
Thank you. Drawback of what we do, right? You walk out with $1,000 or so in cash. Well, we know it, but does the federal government, does the IRS, do the credit bureau? So I had really, exactly.
It's a double-edged sword with that one.
Double-edged sword, because I had a really tough time proving my income. Because
proving it, right?
Yeah. So how did you do it?
I had to go through 3 years of my bank statements, and thankfully
3 years.
Jeez. Yes, he's not kidding.
Hear this because usually my sugar daddies do this for me. So
put this info
how
out.
do regular folk do it? Tell us.
Must be nice.
Right, that would be nice. Yeah. Well,
I'm serious. How do you think I got my fucking apartment on my car?
I don't ask questions, Beth.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would say. Well, the main thing is everything I made last year. It's good to have a supplemental income with serving, right? Like, since I have another job that is on paper like taxable, then I supplement. So everything the last year I've made at Little Alley, I put in my savings. So every single check I put in my savings. So that's how I was able to buy that condo a couple months ago. Had to do a higher down payment because on paper my income's not quite as much. So I had to put down 12% opposed to 3%.
Isn't it so frustrating?
Cool.
It's like, I'm loaded, bitch. Give me the fucking apartment.
So you had to ball twice as hard, put your dick on the table, all just to get a goddamn condo.
Exactly.
And for the record, guys, that condo is sweet.
Yeah.
And the condo's sweet.
It's dope.
Well, congratulations, David. At least you got some real estate out of all
Is the
that.
pool nice
Cheers
for
to
going?
David.
Perseverance above the freaking stigma. He didn't let his stupid ass crippling. It wasn't even crippling. It was just it was a challenge that God gave him, and he said no. It's just that simple. And the freaking service industry allowed him to do anything he wants. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
It's the example of be smart, not strong.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a level of character, man. I appreciate that. Did I get to everybody yet? Are we still good?
Yeah, we're great. I just want to say, like, seriously, like, as a millennial, because we all are, like, financial freedom and just that kind of retention of your lifestyle is possible. It's just a matter of discipline.
Correct.
You can let that go for as long as you want to. You can chill for 4 months. You can grind for 8 months. You can grind for 3 years if you want to. But it's all just a disciplinary thing. You'll see some people take a break from the industry from 3 to 4 months.
Right.
Me personally, I found myself extremely burnt out at the end of the year last year, and me and my husband looked at each other, and we were just like, I don't think we can do this anymore. And I'm blessed for him to have racked up enough money, so we were able to relax our brains and just I just have to say, separate from the restaurant industry, the resilience of millennials as a generation is just incredible.
Amen.
We are the ones who will not settle for anything but the best for ourselves, especially from a mental health perspective.
We'll die trying, for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing I can't have in this world, and
Absolutely. And we're not victimized by our adversity.
Absolutely.
In that sense, right?
So
as a whole.
it's very, very specific to...
Very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the service industry will put that flame to your hand and test you if you are one of those people. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely.
Because
I
you
do
walking out is a lot easier than people think it is, and it's a testament to your character when you pull that plug.
I would say be careful the taste you develop, though, being in our industry. Because for me, like, I love the finer things.
You are walking the fine line with the devil on
Yeah,
that shit. He's
absolutely. Because,
I
like, I love nice trips. I love wonderful meals. Like, if I'm going to go to a nice restaurant, I'm going all out.
$300 is nothing on a meal. We went to Little Alley for I turned 30 in February. Nice. And we went to Little Alley, and Devin made us shots. I forgot. They actually gave us the room upstairs.
Nice.
The private room was so nice. They gave us the room for...
She paid for it. They didn't just give it to her. Make that very clear.
Understood. Did she hit the minimum? If so,
what's the
she hit the minimum, and they were
I think
giving her room.
Did she have a signed contract?
I think it's 12.
They didn't waltz in and say, "Hey, can I have a room?" They were like, "Yeah, go pamper it up." We love that. No.
No, but it was great. I mean, we definitely got one of everything on the menu.
Yeah.
Because there's like, how often do you turn?
They went in.
I love it.
One of everything.
You gotta ball out. If I'm going to come through, I'm going to get everything that I want, and there's no question about it.
Yeah.
And funny enough for me, my mom is aware of that now. If we go out to dine together, we're getting whatever we want.
Exactly, because that comes with the appreciation of finding and learning about the finer things and dining experiences, is what enhances these people's experience, and that's why we're picky, and that's why we go out and do what we do. Sean, what'd you have to say?
No, that's crazy. I didn't even know that the dining room was $12K. That's fucking nuts.
No,
I didn't even know. They don't.
No, it works by what menu you pick. So
it's a negotiable contract, and it's always a different price. There's no set price, people. Okay, he's just shocked. He's shocked.
I'm shocked. But I do want to say
they have different options for different people. You pick what you want.
Yes, there's no set price. There's no such thing as a set price in any negotiation with a contract and a relationship with a contract and a restaurant. Unless that's how they solicit that. I'm telling you guys for the record, that's not what the fuck we're talking about. So shove that one up your asses.
And anyways, that's not what I wanted to say. So when I first started in the service industry, I was 16 years old. So I was young. I just moved out of my parents' house. I was given an ultimatum, and my dumbass chose the wrong choice. And basically, it was follow their rules, live under our house. You can live under our house or do whatever the fuck you want, get the fuck out. And I chose to get out. So I was lucky.
How old were you?
I was 16.
Oh, beautiful.
And
God.
so I didn't have a house to stay at, bro. I was like, and I still had to go to high school. So I was actually, I got a serving job at this place in Palm Beach. Like literally, man, I grew up going to this place. My parents, we used to go to the sushi restaurant like 5 minutes away from our house, like 3 times a week, all the time. They've watched me grow from a kid to a 16-year-old young man. And I went in for a job, and they were nice enough to give me a job as a server. Didn't even know I had to be 18 to be a server at the time, but I got paid under the table $2.13 plus the tips every night. When my friends were going, like, they were working at McDonald's and like Dunkin' Donuts and shit. That's
set
cool.
pay, right?
Yeah.
They had a set pay, and it was taxable and all that. But
at the time, when we're young kids, that's cool, and you have a job. But at the same time, like, I was making some money. You know what I mean? So like, whenever my friends wanted to do shit, like I could go to anything they wanted to go to, and I was like, awesome.
And that pride feels good.
It does, but at the same time, like,
it's dangerous.
I chose, it put a little stress into my life at the time, but it really, like, it really molded me to like be where I am today. Like I wasn't all about like teamwork, and I wasn't all about like my accountability wasn't there. Like my passion for things wasn't like it can be whatever, like anything that takes skill. Like I have an interest in, you know, I'll have an interest in, you know what I mean? If you have, if it takes long hours and you have to actually put in work to be good at it, I'll be like, damn, that's cool. You know what I mean? So like, it's been really like, this whole journey has been like amazing for me because you learn off of everybody that like you, and every place that you've been at, you learn something new, right? And everybody has something that they're strong at, you know, but like, I think it's very important for people to like focus on what you suck at. Like make your practice worth it. Like what you're good at, you're naturally going to be good at it. You know what I mean? It's what you fall short is where you should put most of your attention. That's what's dragging you down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I think like meeting the people that I have in life, like really molded me into the person I am today. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I feel very like, you know, I live a structured lifestyle, and like I have a very I don't know a lot of people. I do know a lot of people, but like the people that are in my life are it's very small short.
Bro, you mainline thousands of people a week. What you talking about?
Dude, yeah. But like I don't know I don't give a fuck to know their names though. I don't care what's going on in their lives, and when they talk about it, I'm like, that's crazy, bro. That's cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Tell me more. You know, I'm not really like into it, but like if somebody does those things in my list, if they apply that throughout life, like in their life, those are the people that I want in my circle. And I pay very close attention. That's what the service industry did to me. I pay very fucking close attention. It's not what you say to me, and maybe like what you say to other people or maybe act around me. I'm not just gonna tell me like, I'm not the person, if you tell me like something that I think is outrageous, I'm not gonna be like, yo, that's fucking cool, yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna tell you what the fuck is up. I'm gonna be like, yo, you're kind of crazy, you're acting crazy right now, like let's talk about it. We can agree to disagree, but like I know right from wrong. You know what I mean? I think everybody knows right from wrong.
Address that middle ground and make sure that you see what they're I get what you're saying.
You know,
bro.
so I think all those things that I apply in the service industry, like it really does apply towards life, and it makes you a better person. Like in the long run, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So you definitely would say, to summarize that you have a deep appreciation for the quantum leaps in perfection.
Oh, for sure, man. That attention to detail, man. I'm telling you, it's like there's no perfect. There's only getting better. You know what I mean?
That's the most beautiful thing about being human, right?
Yeah. Like,
and expanding with the universe.
Once you think you know it all, you lose the passion.
It's boring.
I mean? Yeah, it's like you're done. It's like you don't have that fire anymore. It's
right. Like why is Zeus fucking bitches on fucking Earth, right? Yeah. Motherfucker's bored.
I want to wake up and say it's fucking game time.
Damn right.
You know what I mean?
Always be the wolf on the hill.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, Sean.
I love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Man. Does anybody else have anything to touch on that topic? I mean, that was epic.
That was beautiful.
Like, Jesus.
I'm like,
right.
I'm wiping tears away.
literally.
Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there, folks. Once again, thank you very much for joining us on Bar Banter. I hope everyone has enjoyed themselves and got a little insight on the various eyes and experiences of my beautiful guests here, once again, with MJ, Sean, Victoria, and David. Thank you again. Beautiful.
Thank you guys for coming out with us tonight.
Thank you.
Good night, Atlanta, and thank you, world, for tuning in. This has been Bar Banter with Devin Lewis. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again next week.